Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. It's Corked Stats, the fastest freaking show in MLB, absolutely anywhere. With your homeboy, Big Johnny Stud, coming to you worldwide, Brooklyn, New York, as always. We're coming out the damn chair, as always. What's up, mi gente? Good to see you on this wacky Wednesday. Almost a full slate. We got 14 games split right down the middle, 7 and 7. We're going to start with the late games for the commuter crowd. Who am I to gird them sugar? Your host, John Legaza, Flow, sharper than a razor. Follow me up on Twitter, same handle over on Substackistan. I'm the damn vice we're over there. Thanks for making me a bestseller. You get all the data and the tools and the projections and the ranks. And me. When you sign up, $2 a week, get your 5 pounds of shit in a 2-pound box. And we are burning the candle on both ends. Doing the NFL stuff. There's a couple of football videos, same channel under the video tab, not the live tab where the baseball stuff is. And then there's all the football, same shit, man. We got stats, we got ranks, we got every fucking thing you can think of. All right, enough of that shit. More of this. Like a warm blanket. Best part of waking up. Pitching sheets in the mug. Right, yeah, so we're going to start with the back end 7. Hold on, I wanted to start with the board. Now that I have the whole jingle thing going on, I got to start with the pitching sheets. Okay, so we're going to start at nighttime. We got Toronto and Boston. Blue Jays, 108 underdog on the road in Fenway to face Jack Elaine Bennett. What's Bennett? Whatever. And the Red Laundry. Boston is a minus 130 favorite at the crib today. Now, Bennett, I know the sample is small. He's supposed to be something. And Scherzer, funny, the book on Scherzer has always been, well, he's good when he's healthy. not, not this year. It's been really brutal. But we also had a few of I call it the herky jerk, right? The mixed usage, right? We always fade the debuts off injury. So he's had a little bit of stop and go this year. The old Scherzer is pushing 41 years old, man. Gotta love that shit. I mean, he's given up 12 earned in his last 5 2/3. But 2 ago was the injury start. The last one is the debut start. And if you squint, he does have 2 quality starts in there. So I'm not necessarily sold that it's over for Scherzer, but it might be. It definitely might be. He's been brutal against lefties this year. I like Willie Abreu today, maybe Jared Duran as well. I don't think you're going to find it in the spreadsheet 22 innings of Scherzer stuff. Now, Bennett is a little more interesting. Again, this is debut for a rookie. He's not a bad pitcher. I wanted to make sure, right, these are the guys that are the hardest to get your finger on. I never heard really of Jake Bennett before. So it's easy to say, oh, look at this guy, he's, up and he's fucking trash. And we want to jump on him. I think we want to be careful, right? There's prospect pedigree. He's a top 45 overall pick, just 25 years old, and again, making the major league debut. This year was the first time he ever even pitched in AAA, right? So we want to give that little bit of grace. And he's been awesome in the minor leagues, right? He doesn't walk guys, and he brought that with him. Now, generally, you got a little bit more strikeouts and some more CSW. That could be kind of a jitter thing. He's always been a big ground ball guy. He brought that with him. Doesn't give up home runs. He brought that with him. That's a lot of the stuff that we like. So I think, again, also for 15 1/3 from Bennett, I'm not ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? We see the elite command and control. He induces chases, lots of ground balls. That's kind of how you do it. I meant to mention when I said I want to start with the Algo, because I know the over was way up, and this was a false, right, wind edition. You see the wind emoji blowing out. It's not double digits, but it was the only way I could explain the difference. Again, we draw up these arbitrary lines at 10 miles an hour. Fenway's at 9, right? So is 9, then do we go to 8? Do we go to 7? So I've tried to make 10 the mark where I bump for wind, unless I find myself way off and we're at 9, which is what happened today. So again, people, I try and be supremely honest with you how these things work. And that's what I really like about the emojis. It's like, don't fucking look at me. Because if we didn't have weird weather shit, I'd be way under this. And that's evidenced in us being under with like the goosing of the anus already, right? We already, stuck a finger in there and got that little jump. So I'm to the under. I think Boston wins. Minus 130 feels a little like iffy. I do believe in the bullpen, but the Toronto bullpen has been pretty awesome also lately as well, right? Again, we mentioned the whole Varland thing, slotting everybody into place. So I'm on the under. I hate challenging the under with Scherzer. I hate challenging the under in the fucking wind. But I mean, that's my play. Again, I do think Boston wins. I don't want to pay for it though. If part of our argument for the under is we think Scherzer might be a viable human pitcher, then there's a perfectly good chance he goes out and just handles biz. We get a little bit disappointed, right? The hiccups continue for Bennett. So there are pretty obvious fail points for all of the arguments here. But man, the way these bullpens are pitching, 9.5, it just feels, a little bit high for me. Excuse me, Anthony. Every kiss begins with K on the bump for the Pale Hose. They are plus 160 dogs on the road down in New York to face Carlos Rodon and the Yankees. Wow, holy crap. How bad did that under blow up in our face? Felt pretty good about 3 of those games. I think we hit 2. I felt really good about Cole smashing and maybe that helping to carry the high total, providing Davis Martin, who had been excellent, right, doesn't collapse to a Yankee team without Aaron Judge. Oh, for love. That's what happens. Well, yesterday was actually funny. We hit both of the straight plays that finished, right? We looked fucking brilliant on the Twins F5, right? Those plus money F5s have been very good to us. Yeah, who else was tailing yesterday? Hold on, I want to make sure I get it right. It was Baltimore, right? We had the Baltimore F5. We liked Brandon Young, not necessarily over Logan Gilbert, but we liked the price with the offense and the Orioles. What happened? The fucking kiss of death. What is going on? When we score in the first inning of an F5 bet, we're going to lose. Chalk and a loss. It's the craziest fucking thing this year. It is the craziest fucking thing. It is the craziest fucking thing this year. Just absolutely nuts. The second Baltimore scored the first, I was like, oh no. I feel better if we were maybe down. Jeez, man, crazy. So that one pushed. We liked Tampa and Rasmussen. I don't know if they went up first or not. That one pushed. That might have been scoreless through 5. So those plus the run line, the half run, both would have been good, but I don't know if it necessarily pans out if you're starting to pay all that juice. So anyway, K's been okay. I think people like him more than I do. 4.34 ERA and a 1.40 whip. The expected stuff is kind of trashola. The disciplinary stuff is not good. There's not a single piece. I guess he induces a little bit of chase, but he's wild, doesn't get swing and miss. He offers, free passes. He tends to get hit hard and gives up barrels. Now, he's been absolutely death to lefties, and maybe that's his strong suit today. The Yankees do have lefties that hit lefties, but they are mostly left-handed. Now, Paul Goldschmidt, holy shit, if anybody's earned this. Oh, yes! Paul Goldschmidt is, back. He's like the auto smash versus lefties. You're betting this guy against lefties. You've hit like every single day. So the righty stuff is pretty brutal. The Yankees are not really right-handed. We'll see what they do. I don't know if they're going to move up Volpe and stuff like that. I want to see the lineup before I bet on anything as far as that goes. Again, K has been serviceable the last 30 days. Rodon's been very good. He kind of hit the ground running. I didn't know what we would get, from him. He needs to clean up the command and the control. I do think that will come. That's usually the first thing that we're, looking for. He's still only 30 innings in, so right around now is where we're looking for him to kind of do the thing. Remember, this is lefty on lefty, so both teams, let's see, verse lefties last 30. That's up on the board right now. Got to give the edge to the Yanks. The White Sox offense, I'm not trying to shit on them. They've been one of the more fun offenses and bigger, surprises this year. It's just funny how having that thought process run of don't, be careful, right? Be careful going after the White Sox, which feels like a fair statement. It just doesn't bear out in stats at all. And I just want to bring it up that maybe, right, we got to be careful. Maybe there's a down wave coming, and it's not to push Yankees on anybody today. But that's kind of been a thing. So White Sox last 30 v lefties, very weak. I mean, it's everything that Rodon might feast on. You know, they're swinging and missing. They're out of the zone, losing in zone, not hitting it hard. Now, what about last like 2 weeks overall? I don't always cite this. I'm just curious. No, it's been pretty gross for the White Sox. So just keep an eye on that, right? We're not calling for the death of the pale hose just yet. But this is another way, right, where big nose incoming, where people get in trouble chasing continuity, right? People always think everything is going to move in perpetuity, right? The last, also it's the last thing you saw, right? It's that same idea of they're good, we're just good, so they're going to continue to be good. And if they're good and that works a couple times, then they're going to be good forever. But we know that we always want to be looking for trend indication in both directions to kind of trade rectangular patterns. Some of those lessons that'll stick with you even outside of baseball, bleeding into the real life. So just be on the lookout for the White Sox. Yankees offense has been good. They've hit lefties, like I said, regardless. And I'm not really buying the K stuff. I think the Yankees get there. Honestly, though, the Chicago bullpen has been good. My play is still that this total is too high. With the Yankees at home as the huge favorite, not getting bottom line, Davis Martin just happened to freaking implode yesterday. I don't know if K's going to implode. We haven't really seen them. He's done the bend and kind of very much bend, but don't break. I'm going to put the under again. I don't know if I have the stomach. I don't know if I have the stomach to fucking bet it again. You know, there was once a time where I wouldn't really bet Yankee unders just based on the strength of the offense, and I don't know. They're not really that team right now, and I'm a sick Yankee fan. Like they're just not really that team. Next up, I had Robbie Ray on the bump. Okay, he's on MGM, so let's go with Robbie Ray. For whatever reason, his K prop is blank because he wasn't listed. You know what? Quick shot into the comments. Good to see Stevie Stolen. What's going on, everybody? Sam, I appreciate you and all the comments on and off on the football stuff as well. Appreciate that, trying to push all this stuff. C-Cam, good morning. Good good morning, you bastards. What's up, you fucking scoundrels?
Spartan! What is your profession?
Jeff L., here we go. C-Cam, Scherzer blows. Yeah, I mean, there's a very good chance that's the case. Caleb was pissed also about Martin collapsing. That kind of sucked. No block bank. Good to see you, yo. And Adonis up in the building and BE. Yo, you last two guys especially, I really do appreciate the constant stream of support. It really, it means a fucking lot. It really does. And it helps. It's a huge boost. So shout out to all the Spartans out there, yo. You guys are the fucking bomb diggity. So yeah, I think the Yankee game is graded a little bit too high. I was calling out markets for, not pulling the brake on the Yankee offense. And, right now I've kind of been dished the nod. You know what I'm saying? These things happen. So Robbie Ray is on the bump for the Giants. They're +1 dogs against JR, Richie Rich, and the Bravos. This one kind of pissed me off. You know why this one pissed me off? Because this is usually a spot that you get a discount on a guy like Richie. We talk about these guys over the years as trajectory plays. When I write up fantasy, that's kind of the term that's stuck. Prospect guys with pedigree that come up and, suck at first. Hashtag MLB is fucking hard. Big fucking deal. Who gives a shit? I have noticed over the years, it's offered a betting edge. These guys get demoted. Again, these are good pitchers. So they get demoted. They fix something. But now, remember, now they have the benefit of real MLB tape along with the understanding of the traveling and the process and the real schedule, right? The big club schedule. That fucking stuff matters. With, again, the tape and the analysis there, I usually find when these guys go down and produce, then get promoted, and they were good, like, they kind of figured out what was going on. Plus, the Braves are good with pitching development. So I have confidence in that. Usually, these guys are going to have shitty prices, right? What are the numbers? What do his numbers look like? I'm sure they're fucking terrible. Oh, you know what? It's funny. I thought it would actually be much worse. I thought Richie got creamed. Maybe that was just like the last start or something, or maybe it was the. Sorry, all that for not to say for nothing, but I kind of look. I was gonna say I look a little stupid. I'm like the fucking status quo. For me, look a little stupid is an improvement some days. Okay, it actually wasn't the last start. Weird. Oh, you know what's funny? How did I miss this? So all that already happened. That's the second guy that happened to. I must just take my eye off the ball. I've been busy with the fam lately. Okay, so that already happened. I just missed the boat. So hold on, I'm sorry, I have to take at least one. So I didn't realize. I thought This was the debut start for Richie. He made the start, went 5 scoreless, walked 2, struck out 5 at the Mets, and like, there you go. Before that, he had gotten his clock cleaned at Miami, who just destroyed him. So I think Richie is going to be fine. Ray is the interesting piece here. At first, earlier in the year, he was a little more easy to believe in because the disciplinary stuff was kind of holding on. You know what? I'm going to just do the express train through the early stuff. I want to quickly derail on Ray and see what's going on, right? This is a guy we have to know if we believe in. He has such a high ceiling that I just don't want to sell him out yet. But you could see the swing and strike rate down to right around 11. Sometimes we know the ball and walk rate's going to be ridiculous. That's part of the package with Ray. So are the fly balls and the barrels. This is the uglier side of Ray, right? This is the side of Ray we've seen in years past where he's getting yoked all the time. He played with the pitch mix this year. Less four-seamers, more sliders. We generally like that. More change-ups. We generally like that. Less curves for more sinkers. I don't know if I like that. Velo on the four-seamer is still okay. I mean, the whiff rate is really down. The location has been really poor. I got to check the shape now. Shape on the four-seamer has held. If anything, it's gotten a little bit better. So from a diagnostic standpoint, it's just a location thing right now. I mean, and that's, again, if that's been the track record over a greater sample of the career for Ray. Maybe I'm worried about Ray here. I was going to call bullshit on this price. Again, the Braves haven't really hit lefties a little bit, but they have taken walks, which is an issue, of course, for Ray. But they were chasing, and I thought that would be the boost. But it's a little bit stronger than I thought. Braves hitting lefties. And, the Giants offense, they had hit, they're kind of entering a bit of a lull now, coming off a little strong wave. The average is up, but so is the BABIP. The disciplinary approach is really good and encouraging. We're getting some hard hit balls. Again, it's not gross, but this feels like we were coming off a sick high. I guess the L7 is strong, but you know how I feel about L7. It changes so much every day. It's hard to really base shit off of. My worry about the Giants, has been that lack of power we saw early on. Maybe I'm overselling that. Bullpen edge is like clearly to the Braves. Giants bullpen has been really ass. So I guess I do have Atlanta to win, and I guess I'm on the under. I want it to be under the 9. Again, I'm seeing, this is something we've been talking about where we're at that inflection point where weather is affecting stuff. And the totals generally are all, right, the rising tide. So like league averages, the rising tide are lifting everything slowly. And I'm trying to find the cajones, the CO Jones, to go under when we believe it because, that 9 is a big difference between 8.5 and 9. Big difference, right? When you, again, like I mentioned, lay out the distribution curve of all your final points, right? Plotting all your scores, how many land on 9 that buy you that push. It's a fucking huge boost, man. I don't know. I don't really like this board. Again, I have Richie to do work, but like I said, I was trying to find the Robbie thing. Now, he's still getting massive whiffs on all the secondaries. I guess I didn't finish up. But yeah, I'm at a little bit of an impasse here. Again, I've got an under that I don't feel strongly about. And as much as I want to kind of have that bravery I was talking about to go up against trends, I don't want to be stupid, right? That fine line between bravery and stupidity that I've lived my entire life, dancing like a fucking wild man over or whatever. Anyway, come on. All right, this one finally, I have a play that I feel good about. Gavin Williams and the guards are underdogs in Milwaukee against Brandon Brussels Sprout and the fucking Cheesemakers. That's way off. That's way off. Granted, if you're afraid of the Milwaukee bullpen, that's been a strong suit. I would counter. I think the Guardians bullpen's also good. And if you're worried about the offensive thing, then I would say, which again, Milwaukee clearly has a better offense here. Cleveland without fucking J-Ram Yeah, it's fucking total ass. But there's no reason that we should be an underdog at 5. I mean, just look at the pitching matchup here. Gavin Williams is like breaking out in front of our eyes. This is the prince that was promised here. 3.32 ERA with a 110 WHIP. The expected rate is a little high, but I don't care because Sierra, my indicator, and the Claude bot all under 3 3/4. You know, the four seam is performing really, really well. That had been an issue in the past. KBB approaching 21, 13 and a half swinging strike, 32 CSW, 33 ball. When your CSW is about to get over your ball rate, think about that. More called strikes, and it's not technical whiffs, it's swing strikes over ball rate. That's incredible. Gets ahead, gets chases, bully metric in place, winning in the zone, plus ground balls, just doing everything. I think the hard hit rate, which is the least believable and repeatable, sticky part of pitching analysis, is going to correct. Check out the close date there on the big man. Yo, nobody doing it quite like us. Brandon Sproat's been whack also. I mean, no command control. He's not inducing chases, putting men on, double-digit walk rate, plus getting barreled, giving up tons of homers. I think we may have jumped the shark on the Cleveland offense. They're not good. They're not good. The L7 is probably, in this case, how I feel about them, again, without J-Ram. But I still think we can get them through 5. This is that default to favorite mistake that I think people are making, right? That I've made in the past. So I'm not trying to shit on anybody. A lot of the lessons I teach are because I've made the mistake 1,000 fucking times, smashing my head over and over and over into the fucking fire hydrant, hoping that money comes out instead of fucking brains and gunk. Well, tell you what, man, it's always brains and fucking gunk and goo, and it fucking stinks. Anyway, the F5, it's even money, not even money. Sorry, I don't know if there's what. It's minus 105 both ways, I'm seeing. So I'm not going to let that throw me off. It doesn't have to be plus money. I like Cleveland on the F5 money line. I'm going to be getting a piece of that ass today. I also think Cleveland wins outright, but, you know, if you end up in a fucking dogfight later on, you might wish you had just got out with your ass intact. That was the last thing about yesterday. The F5 bets that fucking pushed, both those games lost. So there is still room for F5, right? That's been the great debate here this year, F5 versus full game. And I think it's one of the most, if not the most interesting conversation in MLB betting. I love it when I'm talking with Toast and Sammy and Toast and Kyle. And even when you catch Spoonie, shout out those guys. You know, TV, much respect. He's been supporting the show. I've respected me, and thanks so much, guys. Really, I'm the low man on the totem pole. It feels really cool to be included, you know, in something so big. So, yes, stick to your guns, man. You know what I mean? You got to stick to your guns. And I think there's a place for both of them. Make your best argument and go with it, right? Like I said, if I have neither bullpen edge or hitting edge, you know, I'm going to want the F5. I go back and forth. If I don't have the bullpen, but I have the hitting, I'm actually coming around to wanting full game, and then vice versa, right? If you have the hitting and I kind of have the bullpen, I found maybe I get in trouble in those. I don't know. I still have to kind of work out because I used to be so adamant about almost F5, right? Almost F5 exclusively. I used to call myself an F5 better. Next up, Sean Sullivan. He's on the bump for the Rocks on the road. Now, he pitched really well in that debut. They're trying to stretch him out as a starter, but I was under the fucking hood. It's really bad. It's really bad. I think Sullivan's going to get rocked. Plus, the Rockies have a gassed bullpen there on the road with the wind blowing out in Wrigley. It's just all the worst fucking things. He's against Javier Facade and the Baby Bears. So I don't know. I just got tons of scoring in this. Whenever the model is getting up near 10, like I almost have a 5 + 5 = 11 scenario here. It's over or it's nothing. I wouldn't waste my time. I guess, you know what I mean? You could check the team totals. Sometimes you get little bonuses on the Rockies. They're 4.5, but it's even money. Cubs are 5.5, but it's minus 115. Like, I don't know. This is another one. Maybe you just like look at what's it called? The, you know, player parlays and stuff on Prize Picks or whatever. I wanted to bring up the Sullivan stuff because it's like really fucked. It's really funny that some people, right? So this is like them versus us kind of analysis, right? Where you're going to get the box score watcher who inevitably is going to say, now granted, he is young, right? He is young and a little bit of pedigree also, right? I don't want to misframe, right? Where I make arguments only when they benefit me. That's fucked up. If it's good for the goose, good for the gander. You're going to get somebody say, oh, well, you got this kid, he went 3 innings, just 2 hits, no walks. And, we looked really good in the debut. And, maybe the Rockies are finding some shit with pitching. Check this out. Does anybody else survive in the major leagues in this? So, this is great. It's so fucking crazy, yo. Okay. Sean Sullivan features a four-seamer. That would be pretty normal, right? That's perfectly fine. He throws it 59% of the time. That's outrageous. Outrageous. That's like Ryan Nelson does that, but he has, he throws gas with sick movement, big stuff plus. Sullivan throws 87. So he throws an 87 mile an hour fastball 59% of the time. And I can't believe that. Like I said, pitching honk. Now, granted, it's probably bordering on sweeper territory. 22 inches of vertical drop. He just got a little bit of arm side run, which is good. Whenever you have double digit arm side run, it's going to help. And he gets tremendous extension. He has a tremendous extension profile. Like up there with like Logan Gilbert and like fucking Bailey Ober. You know what I mean? Like big time extension, but still. Behind that is a cutter. But that's still a fastball. That pitch is at 83, and then he goes down from there. Change of 77, sweeper 76, and I'm like, I just don't know anybody that. Sorry, I didn't mean to big nose you that long. I thought I had given you a statistic so you could see like how people might be looking at the spreadsheet and falling in love with it. Well, we're not. And I guess listen, Assad has pitched well. I've never really bought it. I think it'll be enough to get by the Rockies, but they're even starting to hit on the road also. It's like Assad has no swing and miss and no chase. It's all contact, but on the ground. So that's where, like, how does the wind play into this? I don't know. I don't know. What I didn't realize, again, I swear this happens every day at least once. There's a pitcher I didn't know is a lefty. Like I said, I mean, Sullivan, no one really knows who the hell he is. And now the Cubbies have not hit lefties. Right, batting 207, 284 OBP, 315 slug. Last 30 days, the plate appearances are very low. So maybe you can zoom out. I'm curious on the year to date. I don't do this all the time, but I will do it for lefty splits because I want the sample. Cubs v. lefties on the year, a bit of a mixed bag. Good discipline, power mixed. I don't know, too many ground balls. I don't know, I'm going to leave this. I just hate these weather games, if you can't tell. They're the fucking worst. So I don't know. I got Cubs to win. I got player parlays. I did it again. I always waste my fucking time on this. Next up, another fucking weather game, which fucking sucks. Although I think Sacramento was teetering on the no. It's only 81. So I'm not going to put up 81 in Sacramento, but the wind is blowing out. So it's a nightmare. I don't know how Braxton Ashcraft is only a minus 120 favorite to Savali. I think you have to challenge that whether or not Pittsburgh Penn has been ass. So I think you just go for the full game. I'm fine with that. You have to ask ourselves, we have to ask ourselves, do we just want to straight fade weather games? And I don't think you need to do that. Now, the Ashcraft F5 price is a little juiced. I'm seeing it at minus 135. So I would want to shop that around. I still think they win, right? Someone's got to win, and it's not like the A's bullpen has been good either. I have that up on the board right now. But the pitching matchup is so lopsided for us. Like, I almost like us for a run line cover. Ashcraft has been fantastic, and Savali, one, is not good. Two, if you want to make the argument he's good, I'm still going to counter his stylistics, right? His archetype of pitcher is not going to succeed in this ballpark. He doesn't get swing and miss. He doesn't strike guys out. He's always up in the zone. He gives up elevated barrels, pulled barrels. Like, it's the worst batted ball in the game. And now you're in the worst environment with the wind blowing out. So I'm just off Savali in the spot. I'd imagine his home road splits are insane. Of course they are. 5.47 ERA at home, 3.19 on the road, where Ashcraft has been good on the road. Not that I think anyone is necessarily going to dominate Sacramento. That said, we've been seeing this, right? This is something that we fucking talk about. You can't just submit to them either, Right, meaning like if the books were to start putting 15 run totals, we're going to be going under. You got to be willing to do it. Yesterday got to 11. So put it just kind of scratched there. And I'm not sure if this game was like that. No, this game had the early scoring. That's right, I forgot. And then it just kind of bled all the way. But, Pitt scored 5 runs off the A's bullpen. So I don't know. All that to say, I think Pittsburgh wins. Like, I can't have a team modeled after adjusting to win by a run and not play them for minus 120. And yes, I don't like the bullpen. Yes, I don't like the fucking environment. But, sometimes you just got to grab the fucking, got to hang out with the wang out. You got to stick out with the dick out. You got to fucking rock out with the fucking cock out. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
Yeah, damn right. So give me Pitt to win this one. It's too lopsided for me. All right, next up, last one on the nighttime slate. Then we're going to just blow through the afternoon. Literally nobody cares about afternoon MLB content. Like, if you wonder why nobody does game by game, one, it's too much work, and I don't want to say they're not smart enough. You really got to be on the ball to handle this shit every fucking day. All day, right? No days off. Plus, I'm out there losing bets some days. You don't think I'm fucking sour, sand in my box, fucking miserable? Of course I am, but you got to put on. That's part of the shit that we're teaching here, also, right? How to handle yourself, man. If you can't take the heat, get the fuck out the kitchen. If the losing is killing you and it's costing you a lot of money, go into the combine. If you can't handle not live betting and losing in the combine, this ain't for fucking you. The door is over there. You know what I'm saying? It's the hard fucking TS, they'd say. Tough shit, you know what I'm saying? All right, Kyle Horse Bradish on the bump for the Orioles. They're plus 123 dogs up in the PN dub to face George Kirby the Pickle and the Mariners minus 150. Now, my first thought is this F5 really 4.5? I'd have to be under that. Hold on, of course, anytime I try and shop around while I'm streaming, I get shot. I did all kinds of performance tests and shut down all kinds of background shit. I don't know what it is, man. I think it's the books conspiring against us. Man, that U4.5 is available because the U4 is even money. That would be the play that I want. But I guess let's dive on in. Kyle Bradish entered the season with a lot of fanfare. This season has not been good. He's been a little bit of ass. 4.30 ERA and a 1.57 whip. Everyone expected Kirby to be great. He's been a little bit of ass. 4.07 ERA, 1.31 whip. Neither one any good. Indicators not really buying Bradish, but definitely showing the arrow up for Kirby. So right now, edge Kirby. Right? He also has the much better command and control, getting ahead, way better chases, equal swing and strike, equal CSW. Man, it's the Bradish stuff that's starting to fall apart as we pull threads on the spreadsheets here. Both of them get a ton of ground balls, though, right? A lot of weak hit shit also. I don't know, man. Last 30's been rough for Bradish. Let's get under the hood for Bradish, this fucker. Let's find out what's going on really quick. I got a cool tip for anybody that's paid. So if you have access to these spreadsheets, right? Obviously, we have every game every fucking day. I just kind of found this out, like accidentally. I guess I type a lot and I let search bars fill in. I think a lot of people do that. If you copy and paste the name from the tab into StatCast, Fangraphs, whatever you do, then it comes up lightning fast. Like it comes up as fast as you hit the paste button. And you know me, I'm always pitching, saving time. By the way, support good people doing good work. Don't be a cheap motherfucker your whole life, yo. $2 a week, man. It's fucking worth it. And if you're into football, me cleaning the best ball ranks, I think is worth it. The NFL differential stats, I think, are worth it on their own. Obviously, I think the model scores are worth it on their own. I think the team totals are worth it on their own. I think the pitching sheets are worth it on their own. And then I just try and do it all. I really want to over-deliver and make this so, not say you need it, but if you're doing this shit, it's just not worth it to not have it, even if you're not listening to my fat-ass fucking carnival bark every day. So, yeah, that's been a huge help for me. It's, like I said, it sounds really weird typing, and then sometimes Fangraphs, you're looking for the name. Where the fuck is he? It's like boom, 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 and right, we have the entire proper name in one cell, so it makes everything really good. Okay, so Bradish throwing the curveball more, which we like. pulling back in the four-seamer, again, which is fine. He's going sinker first, which I don't necessarily love. He's not getting the whiffs on it that he used to. The slider is not performing well. He's been missing badly, but it probably does have some positive regression coming. If the contact quality is, any indication, pretty good whiff on the slider, really good whiffs on the curveball. So he's got double secondaries, and he could throw them to lefties. Man, I kind of want to believe in this. I think I want to believe in this. The movement on the sinker is still good, meaning he's still getting the, nearly full foot of arm side run. It's just, those 5-run outings will kill you. Back-to-back 5-run outings at Toronto versus Seattle. Oh, this same Seattle team, I don't know. It's funny. There are ask 10 boomers how they handle back-to-back starts. You're going to get 10 different answers. If he was good, he's going to be bad because of this. If he was good, he's going to be good because of this. And they're always fucking different. I don't know the answer. You would think intuitively that it would favor hitters. You would think. You saw the motion. You saw the pitches. It does not work out that way. I've had smarter people than me look into it. It does. Nothing kind of carries. Nothing carries. The individuals kind of reign supreme. So I guess I got mixed signals here because I do like Bradish. I also like Kirby. The argument for Kirby is much simpler to make. It's in all the indicators and the command and the control. We had this game finish yesterday. Not a lot of scoring yesterday, right? When our game wound, our F5 wrapped 1-1. That one finished 3-1. Oh, Young went into the seventh and got touched up a little bit. That's what I saw that. Still low scoring. So I think, this is a good park to pitch in. The offenses have both been good but not great, if I'm not mistaken. Orioles have been hitting. I don't want to shit on them. I like the Orioles, but the Mariners' offense, very easy to fade. Getting Cal Raleigh back, which is a definite help, I guess. Why do I feel like something else missing? Oh, Naylor and Rayleigh. That's what it was. Naylor and Rayleigh. And I'm like, and a Rosarena a couple of days ago. So, Mariners, easy to go up against. I'm going to put that. I want to put the 4.5. I said, both these guys could go deep. And I'm wondering if we could find a U8 or what that's priced at. Just really quick. I got a U8 here. It's minus 135. It's really heavy. So I'm going to put U8 just for the time being as the show pick. This is something obviously we've been talking about a lot lately. With the inception of everybody and their mother offering fucking sports bets out there and everybody and their mother offering fucking alt lines, you just got to shop because without a standardized price on the OU, that flexibility stretches alts and you could just create overlap where, oh shit, I found a U8 for minus 122, let's say, opposed to the under 7.5 minus 110, where I'm not a big juice guy. Everyone knows that I'm a fucking cheap bastard. But I'm paying that. That 8 is entirely too frequent, right? It runs entirely too high of a frequency. All right, this is going to be the fucking express train rolling through. Quick board read. Let's do the lucky 7 up top. And then I want to get the fuck out of here. Noah and John McClain dying hard for the Let's Go Mets Go. Minus 135 favorite on the road against my boy Paisan Nicky Lodolo and the Red Legs. They have the bullpen emoji. I'm to the under. Maybe I don't want to tempt the Reds bullpen, which has been completely just the worst thing ever. But I like McClain. I like Lodolo. He put together a good start last time. I'm pissed we didn't bet that F5. There's an argument for the Reds F5 here also, but this is another one where getting the grace of that half run, right, where it's U5. So again, it also goes without saying, look for the U5.5. If I'm parlaying, I am betting the U5.5. That's another completely determinative run in F5 betting. Next up, Luinder Alvila going for the Royals with cheese. They're on the road against my boy Zach Littell and the Nacionals. These bullpens are ass. I mean, listen, the Nats just score against everybody. I like Littell to have turned it around. I think he got touched up in the last one. Let me take my own advice. And like I said, I love this. You just copy and paste it into the bar, and the name comes. When I say right up check, like immediately, like the millisecond that you do it, it triggers it. Now, I said I was going to be quick, but I wanted to. So he got blown up, but I think that's okay. He was running, like 7 or 8 really strong starts in a row. I mean, we give that kind of grace to fucking aces. So I'm back on Washington. Maybe you're making it F5 if you kind of want to play it a little bit on the safer side. But I think the Reds get there. Probably an argument for the over also, except I worry about this collapse in Kansas City. Man, the missing pieces for me just kind of add up, right? All right, it was India, and it was like, that's fine. Then a week ago, it was like Kyle Isbell. And you're like, all right, man, I'm not going to like go nuts about kind of these back third pieces. Then you lose Pasquantino, and it's like, this lineup now might suck. You know what I mean? Like, not even like he was playing great, but this lineup might really suck. There's a lot of pieces you never even heard of. So I think the Nats get it done. Again, I think Littell is the better pitcher. Avila is not any good, and I think the Nats are the better offense. Next up, Sandy Alcantara and the mighty Marlins of Miami. They're on the road with the wind blowing out against Andrew House Painter and the fighting Phils. Man, I've been feeding Painter. I was surprised to get this price. I think the Marlins win it outright, but again, this is another one that is a pretty strong F5 bet. I think we've got the pitching. I think the Phillies have the hitting, which is why I'd want the F5, because I think the Phillies also have the bullpen, right? So if you got 2 out of 3, I think we're going to it. Give me the price. And Sandy, I think Sandy's been better. I think he's a better pitcher. I think people are jumping the shark on him, ready to kind of bury this guy, and I'm not quite there yet. Next up, Casey Mize and the Tigres, leaving Detroit Rock City. They're on the road in Houston. Lone Star State feats my boy, Peter Lambert. Don't put the fucking dirt on Peter Lambert. We're hitting that fucking point. Here we go, big nose again, sorry. We're hitting that point in the season where guys that we like are getting shit on because no one's ever heard of them before. We love this, right? We love this. Generally, it's manifests in unders, and I think that's what I'm talking about for today. So Casey Mize been really good. He's not the guy I'm talking about, but I think Lambert is good, and I don't like the Detroit offense, so I'm way under this. I was surprised to see it at 4.5, 8.5. Do we trust the bullpens? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be flipping around. I wasn't trying to do that. Okay, we do. So I'm going to go under the full game. Again, just a lesson for myself where I used to almost exclusively go under. If the handicap went to under, I almost always said under. Now when it's 8.5 especially, I've been going with the full game. So either one of those track. I'm like tempted if you're going to do I don't know why I do this. This is a stupid better thing. Man, I have a bunch of F5s. Shouldn't I make this F5 and parlay those? Again, I make all the dumb mistakes that everybody else makes. That was the wrong one. There she goes. Yeah, it's loser fucking mentality. Go with the handicap that you think is the best. Not like, I bet on guys who are all named Lopez. Like, it's fucking stupid. And if you're laughing because that doesn't happen, I got news for you. It absolutely does, Today we're betting on guys whose names have colors in them. And you're like, what the fuck are we talking about here? What the fuck, yo? Okay, next up. Oh, sorry, I lost the name in the shuffle here with the emojis. Well, Winged Lion Griffin Canning, he's on the bump for the Padres. They're on the road against Kyle Leahy and the Cardinals. If there was ever a over or nothing, this is it. The model didn't quite get to the 10, but maybe, again, you see double wind. It's like hot and 20-mile-an-hour wind. So this is a double, the prize pick. Fucking shit, man. Mark, good to see you. Adam Westbury, DV, CKM, all my peeps, yo. Appreciate you. And the Big King, some new names in here. I am DJ Rise. Good to see you. Mark, as always, my guys on Stevie with the double shout out. Appreciate you all lighting up the comments. You're gonna see the fucking the impression number for my like. I don't have a lot of subs, and we don't get a lot of views. Like I look in the mirror and I know, like, you're fat, you're ugly, and you're not very popular. Like these are things that are true. We do rock some analytics, and it's funny because this is what I'm so fucking proud of. Right? It ain't madness, baby.
This is Sparta!
And it's the people that like this fucking love it, right? When you come and this is your thing, you're like, everything else sucks, right? Everything else sucks. That's why I'm doing the show that I wanted for myself, right? I'm learning the things I want learned, challenging the challenges that I want. So I appreciate everybody that again. You guys just fucking the best, man. One of us, man. Just absolutely the fucking nut hand, you guys. So yeah, prize pick fucking thing. I've got a Burleson home run. I've got Merrill to do work. Again, these are like hit run ribby fucking things and shit like that. Sorry. Next up, Sugar Shane Mack on the bump for the Rays. Damn, he's a 150 dog on the road against Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. Now, I know that didn't go well for us yesterday. I mean, a push is a push, but now we're really getting mega number on us, and Sugar Shane is pretty filthy also. If we're getting plus money on the run line, yeah, you're not. It's minus 110, but man, minus 110 Sugar Shane to a push is pretty that's pretty sexy. Plus 145 Sugar Shane F5 is also pretty fucking tasty. I'm gonna have a hard time letting that out. Again, I've been trying to find. That's been one of the running themes this year for me. Find the courage, and it's not like bit crazy as shit. Look at the model, right? Again, this is why I would go with the run line opposed to the money line, because we do have quite a bit of disparity, right? Remember, those markers are important. Team modeled under 2, that's important. So we're not expecting a lot from Tampa. Now, of course, they could scratch across the water. They get 5 win. They could fucking light up Ohtani. Anything could fucking happen. It's Major League Baseball. It's the sickest shit ever. It's the sickest shit ever. Everything you can't possibly imagine before first pitch happens, manifests times fucking 1,000 in your fucking grill piece. In your right there, in your fucking face, motherfucker. But again, we're over 2.25 and below 2, so that's where I like the run line. Even if I gotta give you a little bit of fucking Husio. I also didn't shop it around, and maybe we find an even money. I didn't bring up my bookie; it's just been tending to slow me down. But no shit, I know I pumped the referral. We both get like free roll cash, but they have the best F5 pricing. And again, you should be betting there for more reasons than one. All right, last but not least, Sam Aldeguerri, Paisan on a bump for the Halos. I think he's going to get cracked on the road in the desert against Erod and the Diamondbacks. But I just can't make Erod a minus 170 favorite against anybody. I want scoring in this one also, but I'm right on the... I'll tell you what happened. I can tell you what happened. The book is pricing Arizona as like a plus ballpark. Now, because I behaved myself and I was really good with this 7, let's do a little bit of research, everybody. I want to do a little bit of park factor work. I want to take a second also. Let's shout out my guy, Johnny Anderson. You can get him at JONPGH. He's from the Steel City. On Twitter, he also operates the data warehouse. Without him, he's responsible for some of the work that we do here. Shout out to my guy, John. Really good guy. Really great work. And if you do granular stuff, like if you do DFS, that's your fucking boy. And if you do like live plate appearance stuff, I don't know how you would possibly do it without his. It's unbelievable. I don't do that stuff. I like DFS. And I use it for my hit run ribby stuff. It's almost so good. It's like overkill. It's like, it is ridiculous. I've compared it to him to the fucking Jedi library. It's legit like some of the sickest shit you've ever seen. I mean, you could spend hours and hours and hours and not even scratch the surface of everything going on there. So Johnny's really good. He's the man. Like, I have a good relationship with him. I'll get up in the DMs, and you know me, I'm not shy, so I bother him at all times. Any time of day, any day of the week, whatever. And I'll just say whiteboard stuff. Had an idea. I wonder what we think about this, if you could do this. And he's always very responsive. He's great like that. Kind of similar to myself, we want the door to swing both ways. That's how our tools improve. So he's got great park data, and he also has he does his own park factor. So like park data, that's what I like to look at. Homer to fly ball rate, homer to barrel rate. Like how is the ball responding this year? Now, I got Arizona at the top. Doesn't look like the homer to fly ball is crazy. It's not. Hold on, I'm trying to get him. It's like it's near the bottom actually. So 13% homer to fly ball. This is Arizona, by the way. Again, I'm just trying to get to the point. There's been a running theme. I'm trying to not to say correct the model, but it's not as simple as boost, don't boost. Like when, why, and where are we applying these things? So I fell short of a game. I'm just trying, in case anyone jumped on late. My model fell short of a game that I'm over on. Here, sorry, I'm going to scroll up so you could at least see it over my fat head. The Arizona game. And the reason is I don't have a boost for Arizona. So I wanted to see is the park really like performing crazy. And as far as homer to fly ball, right, it's not overperformed. It's actually bottom 4 in home run to barrel. It's bottom like 8 in homer to fly ball. And then you can also check BABIP, right? Somewhere where like Coors goes nuts. Coors has 12 points of BABIP on the entire fucking league. Arizona is bottom 7. So, not to say like, that means we're under. It means, because I've gotten this pushback before, I don't know if it's in the comments right now, about Arizona and it playing up. Now, I know like it's a million degrees in Arizona, but they play inside, right? They're always fucking with the humidor and shit like that. They were like the team doing that. So I want to be careful because this could be like an edge almost, right? Where when you get public perception and response to, not say a narrative, but something that has a track record, but when we're not seeing the performance, I'm not ready to boost it yet. The reason why this is a mistake I made last year. Last year I'd make it's hot, everybody gets boosted, and I'm not doing that. We're waiting for extreme hot weather. That's a different story because we've seen the parabolic shift, right? The way that the ball is moving in the really hot weather, that's been a different story. That I'm willing to attack. Here, I'm just trying to show people process, right? Pulling the fucking curtain. When I fell short, why am I short? Well, I'm short. Is it due to environment? Well, I go test the environment, so man, I'm just pumping the brakes on Arizona as like a pinball machine. So I don't think I'm getting to the under, and I don't think I'm going to be able to bet Arizona. So 5 jillion fucking words or less. I'm not really doing anything with that. All right, let's get the fuck out of here, man. I made you guys stare at my ugly fucking face, and more than enough today. All right, we got Mets and Reds under early meaning first half. Nats with the first half win. Miami with the first half win. Detroit and Houston in a low-scoring affair. Tampa with the first half, keep it close, right? That run line. Boston and Toronto to the under on that very high total. Chicago and the White Sox and the Yankees, I'm under, but I'm nervous. Nervous. Then I think San Fran Atlanta is also under. I'm worried about that under because Ray could be a gas can. I think the Braves win. And I don't know, maybe I'm pairing the Braves with the Yankees or something like that if I had a donkey pair. I like Cleveland to win outright as a dog, but I may cut it to F5. Pittsburgh, I think, wins it outright. Braxton Ashcraft on a bump. And then I think Bradish and Kirby have a little bit of a pitcher's duel going on in the PN Dub. Let's get out of here, yo. I appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for picking up what we're putting down here at Corked Stats. Just comments are plenty. I can't even get to everybody. Trent says, morning at my son's boot camp graduation. Yo, congratulations, man. Fucking congratulations. Caught a few minutes of the show. Win or not, it's been a great day either way. Now I have to bet Army this upcoming season. Yes, you do. One, thank him from us, right? Number one. Two, a big fuck you to anybody that doesn't appreciate these people. You could take your fucking political leanings and stick them up your asshole. When these brave fucking people, and again, you think I believe in fighting fucking bankers' wars? No. This is the world we live in, okay? This is the fucking construct. You play with the fucking hand that you dealt, okay? We don't imagine, well, what if we didn't have peace in the world? What if we didn't have fighting? Yeah, that'd be fucking wonderful. But we do. We have scumbags and degenerates and piece of shit trying to take everything that you have every second of every day. We are blessed to have very strong and brave men and fucking women that hear gunshots, and unlike me, who runs and in the other direction, they fucking strap up and go towards it. When you're ready to go towards the explosions and you're ready to go towards the fucking bullets, you can come and tell me what kind of fucking shitbags is going on. It really is a shame, yo. Support these fucking people. I've taught my children to thank them. We don't ask them, are you a Republican or a Democrat? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. If you can't understand sacrifice, you belong on the fucking front line. We should be using you as a fucking shield. Amen to that. Right or wrong, yo. Appreciate you. CKM and Sam, love it, yo. It's the fucking, that is the fucking truth of fucking truth. How you can't understand what it means, who was on the fucking same side here. What do we want? To just be left the fuck alone. To live in fucking peace and not be fucking killed and say what we want in jurisprudence. Jeez, man. Honestly, that fucking kills me. So good for you, teaching your kids discipline, getting them in the right path. You know, I'm too scared to have my kids fucking do it. But hey, man, you know what I'm saying? We do fucking deeply appreciate you. My grandfather fought in World War II, lucky enough to make it back. And as a child, I would hear stories, right? And he would take me to VFW and we would speak to, you know, men and women that have done that shit and seen, I forget, they had the fucking missing fucking arms. You tell him about his fucking politics. Just the worst. All right, sorry to spin off the rails, but I think there is a place for being American, right? As we come up to July 4th, and if you don't like fucking patriotism, you're not going to like this handle as we get closer to it. Yo, USA, let's fucking go, baby. All right, appreciate you, Zol, for picking up what I'm putting down. Enjoy the games, enjoy the day. Sorry for the rant. And when we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. Press the fucking like button. It matters more than it should. And subscribe. Why don't you? It's fucking free. And if it's free, it's for me. Remember, when you work this hard, winning feels a lot less like luck. Yo, peace.